Hey guys, it's Brianstormed. In this video, we're going to be talking about two new things that came out recently from EA themselves. Figured I'd put them together because this first thing is a new patch, a new tuner that came out with 3 new things, and if I just had this in one video, the video would be like 10 seconds long, and that's just not worth it. And then the second thing is going to be talking about what is a desync and what exactly is a face-off loop and why they happen, just so that you guys can be aware that face-off loops are actually something that EA programmed on purpose to try to fix the game. So let's start with the patch. The patch came out December 20th, though I think it only went live like the day after or 2 days after because there was some problems going on. The funniest thing about this is that a lot of people were complaining about how the patch made things worse, and then EA like checked it out. It was like, the patch isn't live yet, guys. I don't know why you're just making things up because nothing happened. And so what this patch did is it supposedly balanced the poke checking. It nerfed it by increasing the penalty to accuracy as you are spamming poke check, which I guess is good because if you spam the poke check, you don't deserve to not be taking penalties or taking the puck. You have to make sure that you're timing them right, you're in the right position to do them and everything. And you also increased, or I guess they increased, the impact of error as the relative speed between the puck and the player is higher. So I'm guessing that just means that as players are skating really fast, the poke check is, I guess, also less accurate there as well. But I'm not entirely sure if this really helped poke checking from behind, especially on breakaways, because I think that's the biggest concern this year with regards to poke checking. I don't really care too much about people poke checking me while we're kind of like face to face, because that usually just means I'm not protecting the puck well enough for that to happen. Someone liked my tweet. I hope you like that. From what I've gathered, a lot of people are saying it didn't really do much, but I'm sure it's just minor tweaks. So like maybe, I don't know, there was like a 20% chance of getting a penalty. Now it's like 25%. Just something that maybe in the long run will have a bigger effect. And goaltending. Adjusted goalie save logic so that it is more forgiving. Whatever that means. Goalies' reaction time versus time it takes for the puck to get to them is still the biggest factor, and goalies will still have the most success when in greater position. Less success the more they have to reach from their body for the puck. I'm going to guess that this made goalies better in the sense that if someone's taking longer distance shots, they'll have a better chance of saving them because they'll have more time to see where the puck is and more time to react. But that's just my guess. I mean, you might have a better guess as to what they did here, but I mean, this is pretty much all that they did, and this is just explaining like why. So minor patch, minor details, but hopefully it does some work in the long run. Apparently, they also added Patrick Laine's beard, so that's always nice, right? The only thing that really I don't like about like when these patches come out is how much people complain about how the game is broken when the patch comes out. They literally do not do anything else other than like this kind of stuff. So it's weird to me that people think that the game's like slower or faster. I'm looking at comments on Reddit that are saying something like that, and everyone seems to have like a different opinion of it. And it's really just game to game. The matches are different primarily due to the player that you're playing against, the team that they have, and the connection between you two. That's why the game feels slower or faster, and it's not always the same. So these patches don't break the game. I mean, okay, some do. Some definitely break the game. I will not argue with that. Let's see. So was there anything over here that broke the game? I don't think so. I think last year we had a few that like broke the game where you couldn't really play all that well, and so then they had to revert the patch pretty much. Yeah, I think I do remember that. All right, well, that's patches. Moving on. Let's talk about desyncing and face-off recovery, where they have this really short explanation. This is actually, no, I guess it's short. I thought it was a little bit longer than this. Let's talk about what a desync is. A desync occurs when the information being transferred to all consoles is inconsistent with one or more consoles. Because the information has to be processed on each console, if one console returns different values to the game server, we don't know which are accurate and inaccurate, thus we can't continue the game going forward with these inaccuracies. So last year, you could force a desync. This year, it just seems to be random, just based on a bunch of different variables in the game that just don't seem to go well with each other, I suppose. And actually, they explain what happens right here. NHL, like other sports titles, has the game processed locally on the console. This includes your online games, which means all consoles involved in the game process their own game results, which means if you have a shitty console, then you're most likely to get desynced. That's what that means, right? I don't know. And shared out of the console, blah, blah, blah. If the information transfer between consoles is inconsistent with one or more consoles, a desync occurs. It could also be maybe your internet as well, because I honestly have not been desynced yet. In like 200 games, I have not been desynced. I don't know why it's happening to other people and not to me. In most video games, a desync would result in the game disconnecting and the outcomes of the match would get thrown out. However, NHL 18 has a face-off recovery mechanism that tries to restore all consoles back to a point in time where all consoles are processing the correct values. So, the face-off loop is kind of like using a backup where the game just tries to recover its data from a previous point. Well, sometimes it'll still mess up there, and the game is going to force to, I guess, desync itself. So the face-off loop is a good thing if you're up by a lot of goals, but obviously if it takes away a goal or something, then that sucks. But is it better than the game not counting at all? I don't know. I think you just can't let it get to your head and just keep playing your game. If anything, maybe just puck rag for the time lost or something. I don't know. Maybe that's like an acceptable time to puck rag. I don't know. Maybe it is. Like I said, maybe. What are we talking about? How do face-off recoveries work? There's a stoppage in place that saves every state. Goal disappearing. They're trying to prevent it from happening. Blah, blah, blah. And I guess in the end, what they're trying to say is, like, with all these patches, they've been doing their best to fix as much of these desyncs as possible, just so that, I guess, there's less of them. So here's poke-checking the goalie would cause a desync. Playing a 6v6 could sometimes cause a desync at the opening face-off. You can get a desync after using the auction house to get a new player. How does that affect gameplay? I don't know. But it's some really weird stuff. Because, like, I'm sure it's not something that they could have just tested and found. Just because these variables are kind of, like, pretty crazy. Like, fixed an issue where variable in skating could desync when triggering a fight and there was a loose stick. There's so much, like, happening right there to cause a desync. It's ridiculous. And I'm sure they're still trying to find the other causes of the desync. So, I know the desyncs suck. The face-off loops suck. But they're doing what they can. And hopefully, by NHL 25, it's all fixed. Or maybe a new engine will fix it. I don't know. Or it might cause more problems. We'll see. But hopefully this helps you guys understand what desyncs and face-off recoveries are. And now maybe you be slightly less mad at them. I don't know. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. Hope you guys, I wouldn't say enjoyed. Hope you guys are more informed, I suppose. And I'll see you guys in another video.